This is the set and forget strategy that got me funded for the first time back in 2021, and I'm bringing it back in 2025 with a couple of additional changes to make it even better now that we've got 4 years of Trump season, which means breakout trades. And before any doubt creeps in, here is a prime example of somebody who has used this strategy consistently for the last year, passed a funded challenge, and got 4 payouts with a 55% win rate. Need I say more? Congrats, by the way. So, first things first, let's get stuck in with the rules. Now, I don't typically use indicators, but for this strategy, you can do it. It'll help you out a little bit. So, just go up to the indicators tab and find one which says sessions by Lux Algo. And I'm going to go through the settings with you now. We just need to alter just a few things because it pops up with too much on your screen, which isn't relevant. So just click on this little cog icon up here, come over to this bit, and we're just going to untick New York, we're going to untick London, we're going to untick Sydney, and we're going to adjust the time in Tokyo to 7. It's going to be from midnight to 7. I know it's called the London Breakout. Essentially, this starts around the time of Frankfurt, so it's really a European breakout. Nonetheless, we are using the whole of the Asian session for this. Okay, go down to the time zone that you're in. At the moment, we're UTC +1. So, me anyway. So, I'm just going to adjust that. And you can take out all of these things if you want. But I'll just keep them in because I'm not sure what they do. And you can remove the daily divider and just press OK. That will leave you with a box around the Asian session. Second, you need to use the pound US dollar or the euro US dollar. Now, this works best using the pound, and the reason for that is really price starts to kick in at 8 a.m., but you do get an initial shove when Europe starts often. But generally speaking, the market pushes further when you're using pound dollar. You do get slightly higher spreads, but that is really offset by the distance that price tends to travel. So what we're looking at here is the Asian session, okay? It's from midnight UK time through till 7 a.m. And the difference with the strategy now to what it was before is that it really depends on what type of breakout that you get. So you're still wanting to take a breakout, ideally with a body, but in reality, if you break out of a wick, it's not the end of the world. There's just a different type of setup that you want to take. So really, there are two setups that you're looking for. Now, within FTR, I've created a 10 video course which goes through the different types of setups that we've got. And as we trade 4 different types of setups, this fits in absolutely perfectly. So what we're doing is ideally we're going to wake up around about 6:30, get to the charts from about 6:45 and try to figure out what Asia has done. Okay, in this situation, it looks like Asia's in a range. It's not looking like it's trended. If it was trending, essentially all what the market would have done is this: it would have started off in one corner and ended off up there, but it hasn't. It started off, I don't know, in the middle and it's ended in the middle. So essentially what we're doing is we're waiting for 7 a.m. to roll about for us to try to get a breakout. Now, this is typically a set and forget strategy. Okay, there are slight limitations. You want to stop looking for a setup after 11 a.m. and you don't set a pending order before you see your setup. So that is the only drawback. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip here. Is what I used to do when I traded this full time, going back 4 years ago or so. But essentially, all what you need to do at the start of the session, it's not going to do it because I'm on buy replay, but you would set a alert. So you just go across to here, press the plus button, and you set an alert on the break. Okay, when price breaks out of the high, or if price breaks out the low, you get a moment to look at your phone, or you can look back at your computer or whatever and look to potentially place a trade. So let's just click on a little bit. Okay, so far we've got pound US dollar. Oh, it is also important that you use the 5-minute chart. Okay, it can be scaled down to the 1 minute, but that's the information which I'm leaving inside of FTR for the moment. So we're looking at the 5-minute and we're looking for a breakout. Now, there's an additional setting with where we're going to set our targets. Again, I have to leave that inside for the guys who are paying for the service. But generally speaking, we're just going to say that our target is going to be 2R for the purpose of this video. Okay, let's just click on and see how we go. We get a breakout. Okay, we've clicked along and we've got a breakout, and I've clicked too far along. Okay, with this one, we have broken out at 7:25. The alert would have gone off. What do? Do we set an order straight away? In the previous setup, no. But now, yes. Okay. And it's a type of setup that you want to take. So what do? We don't set and just get straight into the market on the candle close. What we're doing is we're taking a stop order. Now, I don't really like limit orders. Despite using them for the general FTR strategy, I prefer to use stop orders. I know that I'm getting in at the extreme of price, but generally speaking, I'm going with the momentum. All what you want to do is you want to look for a suitable area for a stop loss. So it could be the nearest swing, it could be a structural swing, it could be the other side of Asia. Like, shouldn't do that. It could be behind the candle which broke, which also can work. You just put it into a suitable place, you set your target. So we're going to go for a 2R on this, along with the rest of the video that I'm going to do. We're going to see how we get on, if we get tagged in, if price pulls away, whatever. Okay, it's going to be winners and losers, but that's all part of trading. It's not a 100% win rate, but if you do what our mate said, you get 55%, which is pretty sound. So we'll click on get tagged into the trade with the momentum. That is what we're going to see more of over the next 4 years, I believe, because it's Trump season. He only needs to tweet something and boom, the market takes off. And if it's been consolidating, amazing. So we'll just click on and we get a breakthrough, which is great. So we're just going to see it along. I'm going to put it up a time frame just so we can charge along through the charts and not spend several hours. I have already marked them up for you. So we can go through. This was a +7, obviously. And we're just going to now drop down to the 5-minute and see how it forms. And I can talk you through it again. Now, I mentioned just a minute ago that it matters really what happens during Asia, okay, whether or not it ranges or whether or not it is expanding into a trend. Now, if it has trended, the market is likely going to react in a certain way once it's broken out. And once it's ranged, it's likely just going to break out. But there are certain telltale signs that you can look out for. So we're just going to click on at the moment and get through to 7. So 7 a.m., a lot of people would be thinking, right, okay, going to get a break to the upside, or we're going to get a break to the downside. Everyone would be looking at that going as an upside, despite looking at what the market's been doing previously. So the beauty of this is that you don't really have to care what the market's done previously. You can just literally go with the setup. So we're just waiting for an entry. Okay, we got basically a breakout, and you could have a set pending order right here with a stop loss down there. But what doesn't happen is that it doesn't trigger. Okay, it's not triggered the trade, so you're not actually tagged in. You don't get a -1, which is really good. Again, all what we're doing is we're just waiting for our entry. But we can't get involved if it is after 11 a.m. And it just seems that the market volatility drops, the volume drops, and the effectiveness of this actually decreases a fair bit. So 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., that's your time window. Okay. For most people, you can get the entry pretty much before you go to work or just as you're starting the day. And really, once you've set it, just forget about it. Just close down your C trader, close down your MT4, MT5, whatever it is that you use, and just go about your day and just look for the result later because you know that it works. Right, so let's keep on going through. Okay, just going to click on until we get the break of this. Just had to have a break from the charts. We finally get the breakout right here. Okay, I know this one shows 7R, but essentially I was working out what is the most optimal take profit from this. But unlike the other strategy, or unlike the last trade which we took, where we got a break and a pullback into the range, what we've got is we've got a body close. Now, we are not looking to take a trade straight off of the break, okay? There's no market entry right here. You can do if you want to, by the way, so you can literally do a market entry, but it's not recommended. It's not necessarily the safest option for you to take, especially at this moment, because there's quite often a breakout and a fake out, okay? I'll be going into soon, so if you you'll find out. But you're doing here essentially is you are again just going to use a stop order. Okay, we're going to place our order just below the lowest point of price right here, and we're going to move the stop loss somewhere where it makes sense. Okay, put the stop loss behind a swing and then just let it play out. Okay, that's all what you want to do. If it goes back in the other side of the range, pending order should be set to expire at 11 a.m. So if it doesn't get triggered before 11 a.m., all right, no trade for the day, and that's absolutely fine as well. But in this instance, we're just going to let it play out a little bit, see if we can get to the 2. It looked like it reached 7 on the other sort of amount. So let's just click and see what happened. There you go. You get a couple of with the standard FTR strategy as well. So it looks like it's reached 2. Okay, it reached 2 there. Probably go further. Yeah. I'm just going to show you what else I had done on the charts. We'll just literally scan through this now. Thought I'd stop the video right here just to show what a loss would look like on here. So we get the breakout, we get the pullback, and you'd set your order just above the high, put this in somewhere which makes sense. So put that there, potentially just behind here. The target for 1 to 2, just for this experiment on YouTube, and see what happens. Tagged out. It happens. So let's keep going. Didn't manage to catch it in time, but it's fairly obvious what had happened here. Okay, we got the breakout, slight pullback. You set the order pretty much as soon as the price closes. Even if you use a stop loss down here, you're going to be stopped out. All right, so it doesn't take too much common sense to figure out what happened there. So as we get to the last one of this demonstration, we have had again an instance where we can trade like this, probably put behind that, but let's see if we get a tag. As I said, probably should have gone behind here. And if so, you'd been fine. But generally speaking, let's put that down as a -1. Let's do one more as well, just to make sure of it. So here we go, 7 a.m. Place the trade above there. Pretty sure that's 2R. So you can see really just how simplistic this is. Okay, entry would have come, the trigger or the alert would have come, sorry, at 8:05, and you'd have been entered into the trade at 8:25. So you can set and forget and just go about your day. Really simple. And as I said before, this strategy, amongst another 4 which I am releasing, along with another set of 5 videos for the entry types which we're doing now, all within your subscription to FTR. So feel free to test this out and put it in the comments what your result was. I know there's going to be some people say that it doesn't work, but literally proof is in the pudding, as our friend told us. So enjoy. See you in the next one.